Shall we go out for a Ruby tonight?
You're taking the mick. You know I'm brassic.
Stop telling porkies, I know you're loaded. Hi there, I'm Chris.
And I'm Sophie.
Did you understand our little dialogue? I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. After all, we were using Cockney Rhyming slang. And as all kinds of slang, it's very difficult for people to understand if you are not in the know. Now, a tricky question for you.
Why say loaf instead of head? Or porkies instead of lies?
Well, that's a tricky question for anyone except the inhabitants of the British Isles.
In very simple terms, it's when a word rhymes with another word. For example, bone and phone, moon and June.
The problem with Cockney Rhyming slang is the fact that it's very difficult to understand it if you don't know the rhyme.
Cockney Rhyming slang originated in the East End of London, where it's still used today. British people from elsewhere in the country are familiar with several common phrases, and these are the ones that we're going to talk about today. So unless you live in the East End of London, you should be fine knowing just these.
Cockney Rhyming slang also exists in some English-speaking Commonwealth countries, but less so in the US. Remember that each country has its own variations and usages, and new Cockney Rhyming slang is created all the time.
Before we start with the examples, we have a couple of warnings. Although many people are familiar with Cockney Rhyming slang and use it, it has a very informal feel to it.
You can use it if you're already very fluent and if your speech sounds very natural. Please remember that it should be used exactly as we use it here. Do not just take a random rhyme and use it, as it will sound a little bit strange.
Even if you never use it, it will be of great help to understand them. Let's start with our entry dialogue.
Shall we go out for a Ruby tonight?
You're taking the mick. You know I'm brassic.
Stop telling porkies, I know you're loaded. Ruby or Ruby Murray means curry, which is a very popular dish in the UK. You are taking the mick. This means you must be joking. Brassic. This comes from Brassic lint, which means skint, which means having little or no money. I'm brassic. Porkies. This comes from porky pies, and obviously pies rhymes with lies. However, we only say telling porkies. For example, he's telling porkies. Telling lies. Could you come and have a butcher's at my work? It's a bit difficult.
Oh, come on, use your loaf.
Have a butcher's. This means have a look at something. Butcher's hook rhymes with look. But remember, you only say have a butcher's, not a butcher's hook. This was shortened over time. Loaf. Use your loaf. Loaf means head. It comes from loaf of bread. That's right. However, again, we only say use your loaf. You can very often find Cockney Rhyming slang in British sitcoms such as Only Fools and Horses, and in British soaps set in London such as EastEnders. That's pretty much all the common Cockney rhymes that we have for you today, but now you will be able to understand these rhymes in conversations with your British friends.
Before we go, we have got a little language game for you. Try to guess what these Cockney rhymes mean without looking them up. Dog and bone, bin lids, Adam and Eve, Billy Goat, Trouble and Strife. If you have no idea, maybe the clues in the description will help you. Leave your answers in the comments below.
We hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. See you next time.
Cheerio!
Bye!